Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schweim.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim, Brad Quast, right here on 97.3 ESPN. It's a super weekend, Q.
Super Bowl.
It's a Super Bowl weekend.
I love it. I mean, the hype that's leading up to it and everything around it, love it.
Yeah, get that mic closer.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There you go. It's
Stop listening to your family. The microphone needs to be in front of you.
I'm not doing it.
So Q, man, I wrote every Friday, I write an article at 973ESPN.com, and the article is basically a super weekend, but it turned out to be a super weekend in more ways than one, especially in the Delaware Valley. In this area, the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets pull off a blockbuster trade and taking all the headlines away from the Super Bowl.
I think they did that on purpose. They wanted a little press, but
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it's not the Sixers' fault that the NBA trade deadline fell the same week as the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we had to get it done. We had to get him out of town. I think we have a great guy coming in, and I think everyone's looking forward to see James Harden score 25, 30 points a game.
I got to tell you, so I went to pick up my daughter at school on Thursday. The trade deadline was at 3:00, I believe. And by 1, I think the trade went down at 1, something like that. But
it was like around 1:10.
Yeah, 1:10, something like that. So by the time I got to school to pick her up at 2:30, like all the parents were talking about it. Like you could hear people, grandparents, people walking by, hey, did you hear about the trade? Did you hear about the hype? And it wasn't just exclusive to the people that I saw at the school. It was everybody. You're walking into the Acme or wherever you go.
Yeah,
super fresh.
Yeah, everybody is because I think of the
super fresh shop.
I think because of the circumstances that he didn't play and he sat out and there was just so much talk and turmoil around his situation, and everybody's relieved now. Everybody's like, let's move on and hope for the best and hope that the Beard comes to town and scores 30 point the triple double.
So we're broadcast on my YouTube channel, The Locker Room Billy Schweim, and my Facebook page, Billy Schweim. I'm going to hold up this picture. It was in the Daily News of the billboard that has popped up on I-95 in South Philly. Like immediately after the trade, the picture of the Beard is here.
The Beard.
Like people are pumped up.
The amount of money that people are going to buy T-shirts and sweatshirts and hats with the Beard on, the logo. It's a name. He's a superstar. He's one of the best 15 players in the league.
He's a superstar, but we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of everything in the next segment. I want to kind of just open up the show. We got a great show lined up today, as always. We talked to the sportsbook consigliere, Dave Sharapan. He's going to be checking in from Radio Row out there in LA.
That's great, and I can't wait to see all the different prop bets at the Super Bowl. That's what makes the Super Bowl so unique, is all the different prop bets you can bet and guys scoring, field goals, yardage. So looking forward to have the conversation.
Heat wave going on out there too, man.
Yeah, there's a heat advisory.
Advisory out there.
Yes,
but it is indoor though. It's an indoor stadium.
That's the thing. That's the thing people don't understand. So it's an indoor stadium without air conditioning. So the way it works is the roof is always closed, so the sun never actually gets onto the field. The ventilation is on the sides of the building.
It's going to be hot
it's an open airflow building
with a roof.
But it's a roof. But it's like a greenhouse effect.
Right.
Like a greenhouse.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot.
I mean, it's not going to be as hot as maybe a greenhouse, like you said, because the way the roof is made is it's a what was the term they used? It's an anti-solar paneling.
Okay.
It's supposed to be something that doesn't absorb heat.
But
supposedly.
But I can tell you, football.
I didn't personally build it.
You're in Cincinnati practicing, and then the later part of the game that season, you're outside practicing maybe once or twice a week. You don't sweat. So you need to get a sweat going in. Then you go into a
how
heat.
About the picture,
it's definitely going to affect you.
How about the picture of John Madden was talking about, I think it was a Dallas Cowboy player, the steam coming off the guy's head. Remember that? Josh, help me out with that.
That was Super Bowl. It was the Green Bay Packers against the Raiders. It's on NFL Network.
What was that? Was the Super Bowl 2?
Might have been 2.
No. This is one of the Cowboy Troy Aikman played. It was.
Nate Newton. Nate Newton.
His head sweat.
His head sweat.
You mean versus Buffalo?
Yeah.
What was that? Pasadena?
Yeah, that was in the Rose Bowl, one of the Rose Bowl games.
Yeah,
one of the. Like the steam was coming
Nate
off.
Newton.
How about me remembering that?
And Madden had the telestrator, and he's going.
We miss John Madden.
Yeah.
We miss him. Miss him.
Speaking of a coach, how about our coach?
Coach Vermeil.
Coach Vermeil.
Finally.
I know.
You know what? It's so cute, and I said this to you before the show. I posted a picture of me standing with Coach Vermeil
after the premiere, right?
This was a few years back.
Okay.
I think this was at the might have been one of the sports award shows, the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame or something like that. Anyway, I had my picture taken with Coach Vermeil. I saw that he got in the Hall of Fame, so I just posted on Facebook. You should see the response I got. And that just it's a microcosm of the man himself. You and I had the opportunity to go to see the American Underdog. People love, this is not put it lightly, people love Dick Vermeil.
He's a genuine guy. Like I've known him for more than 30 years. He did my games at college at Iowa when it was ABC. Then I knew him coming here. I play in his golf tournament every year.
By the way, I love him as a commentator.
Oh, he's a great commentator.
He was the best.
He's really good. He's really talented, really articulate, and he's just a good man. I was at they had a wine thing at Italian Affair in Glassboro, and he was there pushing his wine, his vineyard.
Yeah,
he's just a good human being, a good man. He makes you feel good to be around
Talks
him.
To everybody.
Talks to everybody. No
he
ego.
Came up and he put his arm around me from Adam. I mean, he's seen me a few times.
And a lot of these coaches are modern day coaches. They're kind of too big for themselves and don't have time for you. He's a good man.
Yeah. And how about our special guest today, Andre Collins?
Andre Collins.
Cinnaminson, New Jersey, Penn State alum.
Super Bowl champ.
Super Bowl champ.
He played for a good human being, Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, Joe Gibbs is another great guy. But yeah, Andre, I've known Andre. I played in the Japan Bowl with him. I've known him since '89. Right. Long time. And now he's the vice president at the NFL PA office in DC.
You know what's amazing too, Josh?
What's amazing is that Brad just brought up something that doesn't even exist anymore, and anybody under the age of 30 has no idea.
What's that?
The Japan Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah,
Nobody under the age of 30 realizes that games used to be played in Japan.
Oh, that was a great
The NFL just announced this week they're going to Munich, Germany. And it's like there's a whole generation of people have no idea. Hey, we used to go to Japan to play games.
Right, that was crazy. 2 weeks. That was fun.
But the thing is, all the there's a lot of players, Josh, and I know you had some players on this week. You and Mike at the Sports Bash, and you on game night. The amount of players in South Jersey that have played in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you have some good talent, particularly up in North Jersey as well.
Yes.
But some of the in Camden and Pennsauken and Salem, A.B. Brown. I mean, I can go on and on.
Right.
Corey Clemens, Glassboro.
We've had the White Hicks on the show here. We've had
and we got one more playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Clark Harris from Manahawkin.
Yeah,
he's the long snapper for the Bengals for a decade.
That's great. That's the best job in the league right there.
That's
the best.
Yeah, I'd say John Dornbach.
Yeah, great job. But there is some good talent here. And that's why hopefully Rutgers keeps them local. Shiano's probably doing a good job trying to recruit them and keep them here. Yeah.
Well, I think, and this is not to get off topic, but Brad, you understand this better than anybody. The coach has to want to as well. Like, no offense to some of these schools, like Temple. I think Temple's dropped the ball in recent years, but Shiano built Temple's class is not very localized, though. Let's be realistic.
That's true.
That's the problem. The thing is that when you think about what is going on in college football, when you have all this talent in a certain area, Shiano gets it. Yeah. He says, "Look, I know my area. I'm going to hit my area hard." Some of these schools don't get that. It's not like Iowa was out there recruiting some kid from Oregon week in and week out when you went there. Yeah. No, they were like, look, we have this area.
We have to own our backyard. We got to own our backyard.
So, and then on a sad note, how about this Jeremy Giambi story? The guy, 47 years old. He shoots himself in the head. Suicide.
I would love to. I mean, we talked about earlier on the show, Billy, like with CTE.
Yeah.
And I know he didn't play a collision sport, but there's no doubt in my mind that his head was hit and shocked. And he had some sort of depression associated with brain damage.
Yeah.
So that's just shame. That's tragic. Anytime I see
we
that,
send out our condolences today. He played with the Phillies for 1 year. Was it 20?
I think it was 2002. I got to double check.
2002, I believe it is. So condolences to the Giambi family, Jeremy and Jason Giambi. Jason Giambi was a better player.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that in Moneyball, the Brad Pitt movie.
Well, for the Canseco brothers, no one talks about Ozzy.
Right.
Everyone talks about Jose.
Yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about. Then at the bottom of the hour, on the way in today, Josh, I was thinking there's a lot of thoughts going through my head as I take my drive.
You had a moment of clarity?
Josh, that's a scary thought, Josh.
Actually, I always encourage Billy to think more.
Think a little more.
He didn't think enough, and then gets into trouble.
Oh, boy.
Take care of my body.
That's it, right?
So anyway, as I'm in my element, I started to think about all the people, Josh, who were big Ben Simmons fans. And I can't think of the one person that was the biggest Ben Simmons fan, was the head coach of the Pittman boys basketball team, Ron Meyer. He's a team
Ron Meyer,
coach. I called him this morning.
Okay.
And I just started laughing.
Yeah.
Because you know how all these people, and I'm using air quotes, basketball people, all loving all over Ben Simmons, hyping him up, overrating the man, putting the extra pressure on him. And there were a lot of people that, and I will say this, Grimesy, my brother, there are people out there that didn't like him from day one. Now, these people feel vindicated. So I called them and I just started laughing. He's going to call in the bottom.
So you're one of those guys.
I want to quote it.
You're one of those guys. I told you so. Like one of the,
No, and I'm not. I wasn't as adamant about being negative on Ben Simmons as some people. But
some people are just irrational, though.
But I just don't like the fact.
But there were rationality on both sides.
All these people that loved Ben Simmons.
Well,
the average basketball fan can look at this guy and say, he can't shoot. Or he won't shoot.
But see, you look at it upside potential and athleticism, and he can do a lot of things.
Brad, he was a coddled athlete that never worked the
they're
hard
all
days.
coddled.
I was going to say there's a lot of coddled athletes. Brad could probably spend an hour recapping coddled athletes.
But he wasn't coddled.
They're all coddled.
You were cuddled. He was cuddled.
What do you mean? What do you mean I got to pay for this? What do you mean I got to pay for this?
No, but you're right, Brad. There's you could run down a list probably of guys that you've been around. You're like, oh my gosh, this guy's never earned a thing in his life.
No. But he worked hard and potential with Ben Simmons. Like we can get him to shoot better. Because you just can't teach some of the stuff.
We'll make him.
We'll make him better. Every coach, every GM.
We'll
thinks,
unlock the
once they get in our program, he'll
once we get a hold of him.
Yeah, we get a hold of him and train him. He'll see the light. You know?
So when we get back, we're gonna really go off and look and examine the Sixers trade. Then when the 10:30 rolls around, we'll talk to the sportsbook consigliere, Dave Sharapan from Los Angeles, and then Andre Collins at 11, and then Coach Ron Meyer at 11:30. So we got
a good schedule. Good schedule. Excited.
First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming, and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road, stuck in a snowstorm. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll get into our Sixers talk. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Brad Quast, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
And a jam by Embiid. He dunks it on the entire Rocket team.
The Sixers host the Cleveland Cavaliers. Coverage begins at 7:30. Philadelphia 76ers basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
It's Tango Day, everybody. Follow after me. And step, and bet, and slide, and dip. That's tango.
Why is Ice-T leading our tango class?
It's probably the heart-shaped Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out they can help lower cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
Let's see those hips move, people.
Hurry and get your heart-shaped Cheerios. They're only here for a limited time.
With GMF financing excludes Corvette.
Now till the end of the month, Bennett Chevrolet is paying a minimum $8,000 for any trade.
No joke.
That's $8,000 minimum for any rundown old piece of junk you can get to our lot. Don't let that clunker just sit around. Have it towed to Bennett and get at least $8,000 towards any pre-owned vehicle in stock. But this is a special offer this month only. Got a good trade? Bring it in. Because if we're paying a minimum $8,000 for junk, imagine how much more Bennett will pay for a good quality trade. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy ours. Plus, you won't find Bennett selling new cars over factory window sticker like other dealers. And if you're stuck in a lease, we can get you out early. Every make and model.
No obligation, no pressure.
Because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Now till the end of the month, Bennett Chevrolet is paying a minimum $8,000 for any trade. Find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
We're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, former Eagles linebacker, three-time Big Ten selection as a linebacker.
Yeah.
Brad Quast. Were you cuddled or coddled as an athlete?
Explain coddled or coddled.
I had cuddled or coddled. You were cuddled.
Combination of both.
Yeah.
Well, every athlete at some level is coddled. But when we're talking about Ben Simmons, Billy, we were having this conversation up the air.
Right.
the problem with Ben Simmons was never fully articulated by certain people because they were just so they were just so angry.
Well, and here's another thing that sticks out in my mind is like when the coaches defended, whether it was Brett Brown or Doc Rivers,
right?
It doesn't matter. They were selling it. They were like used car salesmen trying to like, don't pee on my head and tell me it's raining. They would say, this guy's a generational player. This guy's this guy's that.
They have to, man. In the locker room, they don't want to lose the locker room.
They don't have to.
They do. They do because you can't.
You're going to tell me what was the straw that broke the camel's back? Is when Doc Rivers said in an interview after they lost to the Atlanta Hawks, can Ben Simmons be your point guard, or will he be?
To win a championship. And he said, I don't know.
And he said, I don't know. And that pissed him off. That pissed Ben Simmons off.
And then Embiid said what he said after the game about how, there were moments in the game where guys didn't get the job done. And Ben took all that personally. And the problem is that you can't be at this level and be that thin-skinned.
No, but what he has to convey to the public is one thing. What he's conveying in the locker room is a completely different thing.
Brad, as a coach, why don't you just tell the truth?
Well,
not even tell the truth. If you have a problem with somebody's game, but you really want to show that you're behind the player, you don't make stuff up.
No, but it's like when families fight, you keep it in-house. It's in-house. You don't put public laundry to your neighbors and stuff like that.
All right, but how about the scrutiny that is around the Sixers and all the fans and the press want to know? This is a tough place to play, right? The city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people don't want to come here.
Right. Well, but there are athletes that use it and take that as a positive. Like they want Josh. How many times have we talked to people, former athletes, that say, hey, they like the Philadelphia fan. They tell you how it is.
Okay.
Right. Or you want to be like Ben Simmons and sugarcoat everything.
Listen, people like to play here, but why would you get the abuse? You don't need the abuse. And your wife saying, "Oh my God, they're killing you in the radio," or the kids go to school and they're killing you. A lot of people don't want to be around that.
Well, then go play somewhere like Orlando.
Exactly. It's a very unique place to play here. It is.
I don't know.
But I mean, Chicago is tough. New York's tough. Boston's tough.
Yeah, Chicago's not like this, though. Chicago's not
here's
with
another,
the venom that they have.
Here's another aspect of the trade that kind of concerns me. And let me ask you this question, Brad. Do you think the Sixers gave up too much in this trade?
No. Because I looked at it, you got to get rid of them. You got to get no matter what.
Well, they gave up. They had to give up Seth Curry. They had to give up Andre Drummond. They had to give up 2 first-round picks. I know the
don't bring up the first.
All right,
those don't mean anything in the NBA.
First-round pick next year is probably going to be like 28 or 30 in the first round.
I understand that.
So it's not going to matter. And then the pick at 2027 is top protected. So let's guess. This was actually very smart.
So the big thing is, does Harden
too much?
No. Does Harden fit into here, and does he not pout by not winning the games or get enough touches? That's what I worry about. James Harden.
Well, remember, there's a reason why he was pouting in Brooklyn. For 2 reasons. This was documented, and I've been talking about this for 2 weeks now. Number one, Harden became the third wheel. He went to Brooklyn thinking, I played with Durant. He's my boy. I'm going to go to Brooklyn. And Durant kept taking Kyrie's side. The coaches never criticized Kyrie. Durant never criticized. They were always on Harden. And Harden did everything to make it work with Durant and Kyrie. And Durant kept basically treating Harden like he's the third wheel.
But another aspect of this trade that kind of concerns me, and I know that Harden is rumored to enjoy his adult beverages and eat the chicken wings. He's not like he's not a Greek goddess.
No, he's not Greek.
Right?
Yeah, but he does work hard.
All right, but
he works hard. He plays hard. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a lot of athletes do that.
Well, here's my thing. So Daryl Morey seemed like he was so focused from last year on getting James Harden into a Sixers uniform.
That's fair.
That it was like tunnel vision. You know, when you see a car in the lot, you love it so much, you're gonna pay extra for it. You're gonna, and then all of a sudden it's a lemon.
Yeah, you lose all sight of reality.
You lose all sight of reality because you want something so bad.
Yeah, and listen.
See that girl walking down the beach, right?
Oh boy.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna go pretend you're gonna go save somebody, and you go over and above.
You did that in Ocean City,
didn't
you?
I
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Longport. It was in Longport.
Of course you did.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
You get, and that concerns me because, do I like the trade? I think I'm more happy about the fact that they got rid of Ben Simmons.
That's the bottom line.
Then they brought James Harden. That being said, though, I'm so excited about the trade.
Yeah, Ben Simmons is gone. That's all that people matter. So we could have got.
I mean, when you really think about it, they traded Seth Curry, Andre Drummond for James Harden.
Yeah.
Because Simmons wasn't playing here
Why couldn't
anymore.
they get rid of Danny Green instead of Seth Curry?
Well, because a couple things. One, don't forget that you have to give up something to get something.
And Sauer's got a match.
And the Sixers drew the line at Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle. They said, we're not mortgaging the future of our organization. Seth Curry is 31, 32 years old.
32.
Yeah, you got to make a choice. You're going to give up
Harden's
Curry
32.
or you're going to give up Maxey.
And you know what? I looked at the roster. Like, I watched the whole game last night. And turning it on, like Maxey and Thybulle, I got excited. I like watching them play.
You should be excited.
Watch them. Yeah, they're a different
and I can't
team
wait
now.
to see how they
mesh.
End of older, middle, and young players now.
I just is there going to be enough basketballs to go around on offense touches on offense?
Well, listen, Harden's averaging 10 assists a game. It's not like he's a ball hog.
Yeah, no, he's a good passer. He is a good passer.
Triple doubles this year.
He's almost averaging a triple double.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is nuts.
But his point total, he's only scoring 22.5.
But again, you're on a team with Durant and Irving. People forget that the reason why Harden was such a volume scorer in Houston is because they demanded him.
He had to get 30 plus.
He was the only guy scoring at times. Harden wanted to go. This has been documented by numerous people who cover the league. Harden wants to go somewhere where he's not have to be the guy. And he looked around in Brooklyn. He's like, Kyrie ain't here half the time. Durant can't stay healthy. This roster's garbage. I don't want to deal with this. I'm 32 years old. I'm tired of being the guy who has to carry a team every year.
And one other note, I think Jason Kelsey is a little upset because now his beard's going to take back to the beard.
There's two beards in town.
Because now there's only one. He's the beard.
The beard.
And I like that billboard. I mean, who put that up? Was that the Sixers or was that a private? Was that a citizen that just?
It's the beards are in, I guess, right?
Doesn't really say.
Huh? Everyone's
well, if you can grow it,
I tried to grow a beard this winter. I couldn't.
Mine comes in gray.
Mine's all gray.
Yeah.
Oh, you could be like Lovie Smith.
Yeah. Lovey. Lovey got a job. Good for him.
Get a job.
Good for him.
Santa Lovey.
Yeah, Lovey.
When we get back, we're gonna change. We're gonna get back to the Sixers in the second hour too. But when we come back from this next break, we do a little business. We're gonna go out to L.A. and talk to the sportsbook.
Can't wait.
You know this is your favorite segment.
It's my favorite segment. I love talking.
I can't wait to see what the sportsbook's wearing. By the way, he was on MLB channel the other night. He was on yesterday. He was on the hot stove. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Bostonian versus the book, the cash considerations. He does it all.
Yeah, he does a nice job.
He's getting a lot of airtime. All right, first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing with the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the main line, today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. When we return, it's the Sportsbook Consigliere, Dave Sharapan. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Brad Quast, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey later today on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app with Tim Saunders and Steve Coates calling all the play-by-play action.
Oh, big save by Carter Harden. The Flyers are in Detroit to take on the Red Wings.
Coverage begins at noon. It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey on the radio home of the Flyers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN, and listen live on the free mobile app.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee. Those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free Train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again and again, calling again and again.
Hi, this is Camden County Commissioner Director Lou Capelli with some quick COVID vaccine facts. First, if you haven't received your booster shot, you are not fully protected. 99% of our positive cases are people who haven't been boosted. Second, growing up, almost all of us were vaccinated to protect us from infectious diseases. And COVID vaccines are no different. This is your shot. Make it count. And remember, if you're not boosted, you're not fully protected. Visit CamdenCounty.com/vaccine for more information.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I don't know about you, but my car could use a few upgrades. I mean, the 8-inch tier in the driver's seat does have sentimental value since my butt has molded to fit it, but I'm ready to move on. My solution? eBay Motors. They've got all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, from seat covers to whole new seats. When I get that new seat, I think I'll put the old one in the living room, right next to the minivan seats, or as we call it, the sectional. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
You coming to bed, hon?
Yep, honey, I'll be right there. Just got to turn out the light.
Ow! 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 Ah! Go!
Some things never change. Like your kids always leaving tiny toys on the floor for you to step on. And Geico saving folks lots of money on their car insurance.
Sweetie, I think I left the downstairs light on.
Please don't make me go.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Escape the cold and spend Valentine's Day in Cancun. Fly nonstop from Atlantic City International Airport to Cancun and experience the beach by day and party by night. Book your low-cost flight today by visiting spirit.com.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Brad Quast, 97.3 ESPN. Now it's our football segment, and of course, this is our favorite segment of the weekend. It is each and every Saturday we go out to Vegas, but today
he's in L.A.
He's in L.A. He's on Radio Row. Listen, he's everywhere. Cash Considerations, the Bostonian versus the Book. He was on MLB the other day. He was on the Hot Stove. Guy's everywhere.
He is everywhere. What is he going to be wearing today?
Well, I see him right now. I'm not going to tell you because I kind of see. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room our good buddy, the sportsbook consigliere.
Oh, he's going
Dave
Rams.
Sharapan. What's up, Dave?
What's up, boys? Are you kidding me? I mean, an incredible week here in LA. I'm getting ready to go back to Vegas for the big game, although I've been offered tickets, and I don't think I'm going to stay because I want to stay married. You either go to the football game or you go home in the locker.
I hear you.
It's time to go back home to Vegas.
I know.
But my last hit of the whole week, I get to come and see Billy in the queue with Josh making sure it all stays. I couldn't even get down to. I said, you know what? I'm doing it from the room. I'll dress up. I got my Super Bowl sweatshirt on.
Look,
I got my nice tight, crisp Rams hat on. It's been a hell of a week, boys. It's been absolutely so much fun. Unbelievable.
So, Q, I was going to say, Sportsbook Consig, tell us a little bit about your experiences on Radio Row, because I watched a couple segments you did. You're everywhere. I mean, you're everywhere. But I enjoy watching you, and just tell us a little bit about all the people that you saw, you got to talk to. It was pretty cool atmosphere.
absolutely incredible, right? So, I mean, I'm on Sports Grid and SiriusXM every day, Monday through Friday. And then I do my own podcast and do my own show, Bostonian versus the Book with Matt Peralt. And so I'm all over the place anyway, but I usually just do it from, my house or sometimes a book in Vegas. Media Row's a big room with people from all over the world with doing their shows. And then the big boys are all around it. So you got, all the big networks, NFL Network, football players are walking around, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, everybody's walking around with handlers. Hey, do this, do that. So, I'm walking around with these hats and these sweatshirts and stuff, and people are like, who's that guy? So, I'm working the room. I'm working the room. I'm like, well, hey, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. So I go on every show I can possibly go on. I'm right there. Hey, I could do a segment because I can talk all the different sports. Some people are there just to talk about football. But, I mean, I got to be honest, boys. I wore this one day. Look at this. This is a little costume change for you.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, my goodness. I wore the 76ers hat. And
I love
like,
it on you, dude.
even my partner, co-host, Peralt was like, "What? Why are people coming up to you going, are you a Sixers fan? What do you think about the trade? What's going on? How's that affect the odds?" It was incredible, guys. So that was so much fun in addition to the Super Bowl stuff. But, I mean, I interviewed Darren Ravel. I interviewed Pat McAfee and his entire staff, Bubba Gump and Tony Diggs and Nikki Skates and all the boys. I got to tell you, though, like there was a zillion, internet people, gambling people that know them, like, Trent with Book It Sports and Annie Agar, unbelievable story she has. I got to sit down and talk to let's get ready to
Michael Buffer. Yeah.
Me and Buffer sat down for 15 minutes.
That's great.
He hugged me on the way out. He's a Philly guy.
Is he?
He's a Philadelphia guy.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, it was an incredible week. I almost still can't believe that I was there, and I got to meet a lot of people that I've only done shows with virtually. So it was a lot of fun. We talked a lot about the props. I'm all talked out about the props. I mean, obviously not for you guys, but there's so much that goes on around it. I figured out the best ways to get to and from the convention center, little back roads, LA traffic. Found an I ate some food I never ate before in my life. A restaurant in LA. So, somebody said, we'll go to dinner. I was like, okay, I walked in. I mean, I can read, guys. I read the menu and I was like, I don't know what none of this stuff is.
Hey, did you go to any parties yet? Any of the Super Bowl parties or no? They got some nice parties. That's part of the deal.
The parties are unbelievable, but they're all late at night. And I'm up before the sun is even up, getting back in that media center, doing all the shows back east. That's the thing. I was on MLB Network yesterday. They said, hey, can you do the hit? It's at 9:15 a.m. I said, that's 6:15 my time. They're like, yeah, we know the time too. Can you do it or not? I was like, I guess so. So I had to be up and at the
He's
media
up at the
center.
crack of dawn for us right now.
Yeah, right.
Hey, yeah. Well, no, this was a late wake up call for me. So I passed on the parties.
Okay.
I did a couple dinners, which was great. And everything's getting ready. After this, March Madness is the next big thing. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to somewhere. They're coming to Vegas. So
everybody's coming to Vegas.
Yeah, that's the place.
That's the place.
Yep.
America's showplace.
They just missed they lifted the mask mandate.
Okay.
In Nevada.
Really quick before we get to the Super Bowl conversation, we got to remind people, because Brad, you met Brad and Billy. I don't know if you guys know this, but when Dave mentioned Pat McAfee, all I could think of was, are there two people who have more of a different dress attire than Dave Sharapan and Pat McAfee? I mean, you guys are like the odd couple.
McAfee, he's the only one with tank top. His tank top.
That's
real quick, Sharapan, real quick, Sportsbook. Give us your take real quick on the Sixers trade. You like it? You love it? Anything? Just let's have your opinion on the big trade.
My initial thought was this, and I went on a zillion shows and asked this question: are they better than the Bucks from the trade? Do you think so? Billy?
No.
Yes or no? Quick.
No.
No.
Okay. Are they better than the Nets from the trade?
Close.
You hesitated. Okay.
Yeah, I hesitate. Close.
Right.
I mean, it
So-
could go either way in a 7-game series.
So immediately that was my first reaction. I was like, all right, what would that do with the odds? Because I can't, I'm not in the book, but I would know, all right, would I adjust it based on this? They're not better than the Bucks. So the Bucks are the favorite, still in the East. I think they're slightly better than the Nets, but you could argue that the Nets are slightly better than the Sixers. But I think they're a clear and obvious third choice out of the East. So the odds had to be adjusted. I think it solidified the Nets as a clear second choice. I don't think the Nets are better than the Bucks. I didn't think they were better than the Bucks before the trade. We don't know what KD is going to be when he comes back, but apparently he's just going to turn on the switch. I can't wait to see how this all meshes together. I don't know what part of the process this is as far as getting James Harden. I think he's going to be excited to pass the ball and play with a guy like Embiid. Now, we'll see about how that helps the defense, because when they play defense, it's pretty good. I'm just glad the whole Ben Simmons thing is done. I'm glad it's over.
Us too.
Just move on. Ain't nobody going to talk about it no more. I wish there was a way that they could avoid Brooklyn in the playoffs, because it's going to basically consume my entire life if those two meet. I'm going to have to explain to everybody that I can't watch nothing but this basketball game. 10-9-8-76ers has been on my mind all week long.
We're talking to the sportsbook consigliere, Dave Sharapan. He's live in Las Vegas there on Radio Row. Let's talk about some of the prop bets. Let's talk about some of the prop bets, because there's a lot of stuff going on. But first and foremost, the Rams are giving 3.5, and the over and under right now is at 48.5.
Yeah. So the line finally came down. This was the original number. The initial money came on the Rams, went up to as high as 4.5. It's back to 3.5. I still like the Rams. I again did a zillion shows and sitting from that media row, talked to people from all over the country, all over the world. There was shows from NFL Mexico right next to us. People were there from London doing shows. A lot of people like the Bengals, boys, and not that that's a bad thing. I mean, the Super Bowl, there's two sides. So you're going to find a lot of people that like everything. I just think the Rams, I don't think you're going to have to worry about the points. Let's put it that way at this point. But I would rather play the Rams on the money line than not have to worry about the points. Because if they win by 3, which the way these playoffs have gone, this game could fall 3. I like the total under.
Go down to that last kick.
It could. Yep.
There's a lot of talk about somebody other than a quarterback winning the MVP. Do you see that? What's the chance of that in this game? There's a lot of other people.
Good people on the defense side of the ball. Down
there,
what corners or
right?
I could see the defensive win.
Cooper Kupp. I mean, you got some non-quarterbacks that have a good chance of winning MVP.
Listen to this guy Q making a case for the defensive guys.
I'm a defensive guy. Donald, he has 4 sacks. Force a fumble. Come on.
This guy from Forest View High School.
Force you, right?
I mean, listen, I did research too.
Force you Falcons.
You got a Wikipedia page. That's unbelievable. Don't worry. There's people watching YouTube.
Google them.
Yeah. We did already. Forest View High School. Defensive guys don't win the MVP, boys. I don't think you need to. I mean, they have. Don't get me wrong. They can. I just don't think this style of game will dictate that a defensive guy will win the MVP. You get good odds, but a lot of times when you get good odds, it's not a good bet because you lose. It doesn't pay it. You don't get to the window. So I'm thinking the quarterbacks, one of the two will win, but like a guy like Cooper Kupp could win this thing. He has to have a really big game because that means Stafford threw him the ball. The running backs are the interesting ones for me. There's a lot of talk of Cam Akers. There's a lot. I mean, an outside shot at Sony Michel. I don't know if any of the Bengals can. I mean, Chase obviously with a monster game to do it.
Is he really? Okay.
He's a +5. Von Miller's a +5.
Their line's banged up. I don't know if they could block him. They're not going to be able to
block
him.
Really? He's the one that's going to him instead of Donald Q.
Well, I mean, you can't double team both of them.
He's plus 1,600.
Yeah, so one of them's going to have a breakout game. Yeah, huge game. Yeah.
So what's Sportsbook Consigliere? What's the atmosphere like in LA? I mean, LA's playing in effect a home game. I saw the NFL maybe trying to tweak some things that could never happen again. Do the Rams have an unfair advantage playing at home?
I don't think so, Billy. Like it's another day here in LA. I mean, it's crazy to say, but like the Super Bowl hype week, whatever, it didn't really start around until Wednesday. And I mean, there's a lot of people coming in. When you walk around town, I mean, I was only downtown LA and here, so you see a lot of Rams stuff walking around. There wasn't a lot of Bengals stuff, so maybe that will reflect at the game. But I mean, on the street, the value of the tickets was high. I don't know, if they're pricing regular fans out or not.
So they did that 20 years ago. Price them out. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how much their fans per se will be in that building, but sleeping in your own bed is nice. I mean, they're all probably staying at
That's
home.
the thing, yeah. Right. Working out in your home facility and stuff. It's a home game for them. It's a big deal.
That's a good point.
It's a home game.
That's why we had the Consig on every Saturday.
Hey, quick question: being in Media Row, was there any buzz about the coaches and who the new coaches being hired and the lawsuit brought against the NFL? Was that anything, or was it all Super Bowl talk?
It was mostly Super Bowl talk.
Okay.
Only because the message is kind of controlled. You're right in there. So you don't, unless you want to go seek it out, everybody's pushing some sort of product. I saw more talks about vitamins and all this other crap and all this other things. And I got this and I got that. You got handlers throwing you, things here. Here's a fact sheet. Here's my guy. I'm like, what is he like on a coin flip? I mean, that's all I want to know. Is he like heads and tails? Is he betting Cooper Cup over yards? Like that's all I'm talking about. I ain't talking about your fight. So it was crazy. It was really a lot of fun.
Well, listen, man, Sportsbook, we're up against it. So you like the Rams, you like the over, is that correct?
Under, Billy. Get it right.
Under. I'm sorry. You like the under? You like the under?
I do. I feel like it's going to be a defensive game.
Minds think alike.
All right.
Definitely the under for the first half.
Okay.
Oh, under for the first half. Look at you going micro markets.
You can take him out to the book. All right. There he is, Dave Sharapan, the
Sports
Consigliere. Of course, you can follow him on Twitter at SportsBKConsig, and put him on your Twitter account.
Yeah,
keep up
with
all
information,
all the hot topics. As always, Dave, we really appreciate it. Look forward to your segment.
Love it, boys. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game.
All right, there he is, the Sportsbook Consigliere on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to center city, every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanemagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we return, we'll wrap up the first hour. You're listening to The Locker Room. Billy Schweim, Brad Quast, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Tomorrow, the Los Angeles Rams and Cincinnati Bengals square off in Super Bowl 56. Hi, this is Scott Graham. Join me and the rest of our Westwood One crew from LA for all the action. The Bengals are in the big game for the first time in 33 years. Can they bring home the first Super Bowl title in franchise history? Or will the Rams win on their home turf in SoFi Stadium? Tune in to find out. If it's Super Bowl 56, it's right here
Exclusively on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Super Bowl station.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Hi, this is Mike Herron. You've heard me talk about my experiences playing football at the Naval Academy on the locker room with Billy Schweim. I'm here to tell you about a company with the same high level of integrity and dedication that it takes to be successful on the football field. Best Property Maintenance. When you need cleaning and janitorial services you can trust, call Best Property Maintenance. They'll take care of your property from top to bottom, commercial and residential, fully licensed and insured. Call Best today. When you want it done right and on time, call Best. They'll do the rest. Call today, 609-926-2378, or go online at bestpropertynj.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
It's Tango Day, everybody. Follow after me and step and bet and slide and dip. That's tango.
Why is Ice-T leading our tango class?
It's probably the heart-shaped Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out they can help lower cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
Let's see those hips move, people.
Hurry and get your heart-shaped Cheerios. They're only here for a limited time.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you.
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say.
If it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
Then there's the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV.
You can't be all work and not play.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Always wanted a Jersey Shore mansion? With a $172 million Powerball jackpot win, you could buy the shore home of your dreams, plus one for everyone in your family. It's just that many millions. Anything can happen in Jersey.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Brad Quast. Now, the sports book and you think alike. You guys think it's going to go under. I think the game goes over. I think both offenses are going to put some points on the board.
So you think that the Rams defense is fraudulent then?
Not fraudulent.
And you believe in the Bengals offensive line?
I think no, I don't. I think the Rams score like 20 points in the first half, and I think the Bengals can get at least 13 up there.
Nah, I think they're Bengals are going to struggle big time.
Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room my agent at the beach, the man around town.
Oh boy,
Mark Grimes. What's up, Grimesy?
Grimesy.
What's up, guys? Good show. Good show.
Hey, Grimesy, before we get started on the football talk, I know you got to be ecstatic about the Sixers deal.
Hey, I'm an Arizona State alum. I love this pick.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you know what I mean? I love James Harden. So, hey, I think it's going to play out for us. Everybody's a little disappointed. We had to get rid of Curry and we had to get rid of Drummond. But here's what the reason I'm calling. Why aren't we going after? I know we probably got to wait for the waiver wire to go through. Ennis Freedom is the perfect pickup. He's on the wire now for Drummond. Perfect. He's a big guy. He's a rebounder. He'll take over what Drummond was doing.
Because he's probably getting canceled because of his.
That's not the reason why. He's a very popular guy.
He is, but I like him.
Yeah.
I like
He's
him. I think
fits in the cap, and everything's good.
Big dude.
He's out on Twitter now saying everybody's in for a big surprise. Who's signing him? So I don't know who. I mean, I haven't heard any rumors yet. Where is he going?
Are you concerned that Daryl Morey. It was like tunnel vision. When you fall in love with one deal, and you had it's like buying. I equated it to buying a car that you love, and it turns out to be a lemon.
You equated to somebody walking down the beach.
Well, yes, you did. Yeah.
Good job, Grimesy. Good job.
Walking down the beach.
I equated the beach runs and basements. We gotta have it. Hey, but no, I'm telling you, and it's Freedom. That's the perfect pickup for Drummond. You know? Now we got to figure out. Now we just got to get JJ Redick to come out of retirement. We're set.
JJ Redick's having too much fun ripping Stephen A. Smith on First Take.
All right, real quick, Grimes, who you like in the Super Bowl?
I think it's blowout city, Rams all the way. They beat their kryptonite team. They beat San Fran. That was their kryptonite. So once they got past San Fran, this is going to be Bears, Patriots all over again. 44-10.
Whoa. Grimesy, I like it. Like it.
Always love having you check in. Thanks a lot.
See you, buddy.
All right, guys, have a great weekend.
There he is, Mark Grimes, calling it big for the Rams, like big time.
Like the Bears, like a Super Bowl shuffle year.
Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah, that's my year, man. That's great.
All right, first hour is in the books. Hour 2, we have former Penn State alum.
Yeah, Andre Collins, Penn State alum. Super Bowl champ with the Redskins. He's the vice president of former players now down in D.C.
And then we'll talk to the Pittman High School basketball coach, Ron Meyer, all in the second hour. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Brad Quast, Josh Henning, and our intern Jake right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The 2022 Hercules Tires MAC Basketball Championships are headed to Atlantic City's Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall, March 8th through 12th, featuring 22 men's and women's teams. The tournament is fun for the family, featuring a band jam, Spirit Squad showcase, and a mac and cheese fest, where you'll be able to taste a variety of mac and cheese from your favorite local restaurants. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, to see who will cut down the nets, and earn a spot in the big dance. Get your tickets at boardwalkhall.com.
That dinner was delicious. What's next?
I'm thinking just the check.
Do you frequently have gas, bloating, diarrhea, stomach pain, or loose oily stools after eating? One or more of these symptoms could be a sign of exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, and it may be time to talk to your doctor.
If you have EPI, Creon may be right for you. Creon, pancrelipase, is an oral prescription medication that treats EPI. Creon replaces enzymes you may be missing to help you break down food properly.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosis colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Do not chew capsules or contents, as this may cause mouth irritation. Tell your doctor if you have unusual or severe stomach pain, bloating, trouble passing stool, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, worsening of painful swollen joints, or allergic reactions. Other side effects may include changes in blood sugars, gas, dizziness, or sore throat and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Talk to your doctor about Creon, the #1 prescribed EPI treatment, and visit gocreon.com. That's GOCREON.com. Or call 1-800-633-9110.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. Viagra is now available in generic form at 4hims.com. The same active ingredient as Viagra, but 90% cheaper. Just go to 4hims.com and a healthcare provider will prescribe your ED medication if appropriate and send it to your door. It's easy, private, and super affordable. And that's really good news. Get your first online visit free when you go to 4hims.com/joy. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Are you in excruciating pain brought on by your son, daughter, or spouse suffering from addiction? You are not alone. If you call Recovery Centers of America today at 1-888-RECOVERY, your whole family can begin to recover. At Recovery Centers of America at Lighthouse and Devon, your loved one will be treated with care by expert addiction professionals, while family programming will give you support and healing so that you can recover as well. RCA accepts insurance, provides transportation, and offers intervention services. Call 1-888-RECOVERY now.
At Harry's, we know that Valentine's Day is about following your heart and sometimes making a change. So if your old razor isn't giving you the shave you deserve, this is the year to break things off and switch to Harry's. Our starter set has everything you need for a better shaving relationship. And if you go to harrys.com right now and use code TOWNSQUARE at checkout, you can get it for just $3. This Valentine's Day, treat yourself, or any shavers in your life, to the gift of looking sharp. Our starter set has everything you need for a close, comfortable shave: a weighted handle, a 5-blade German razor cartridge, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover. And that's not all. Harry's also donates 1% of sales to nonprofits that provide mental health care services to men in need. So if you or your special someone need to get out of a bad shaving relationship, just head over to harrys.com right now and use code TOWNSQUARE at checkout to get our trial set for just $3 and start fresh. That's everything you need to start fresh for just $3 when you use promo code TOWNSQUARE at harrys.com.
Always wanted a Jersey Shore mansion? With a $172 million Powerball jackpot win, you could buy the shore home of your dreams, plus one for everyone in your family. It's just that many millions. Anything can happen in Jersey.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station.
Red 83!
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schweim.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schweim.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Brad Quast. You know, it's always cool to talk. It's the Super Bowl weekend, and to get you pumped up. You try to get in touch with people that have played in the game,
and to have a career, and then to be in the Super Bowl, playing it and win it,
right?
Is special.
Local guys.
Local guy. My guy. I've known him for 30 years.
All right, so it's like our own version of our radio row.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow we're going to talk with Isaac Redmond.
Okay, another local guy.
Today we got a former he went to Cinnamon High School, Penn State alum. He won the Super Bowl with the Reds,
the Washington
Commanders.
The Washington Commanders.
That slip was right, though. He did play for Cincinnati.
He played for Cincinnati.
You're going to say Cincinnati if he said Cinnamon.
Well, yeah.
And Cincinnati.
He did play for Cincinnati.
He did play for Cincinnati.
All right, let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room a local guy, South Jersey, Andre Collins. Welcome into the locker room, Andre.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
What's up, buddy?
Brad did promise me a pork roll and cheese.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't have it yet.
When you come back into town to visit the family, we'll take you out to dinner.
Actually, when you come to sit in the locker room here with us on 97.3 ESPN, I know a great place to get some pork roll. We'll go check it out. Andre,
right, I love that.
Local guy, Cinnamon High School. There's a lot of guys from South Jersey that have played in the Super Bowl. We have Isaac Redmond on tomorrow. Dwight from Pennsauken, Dwight Hicks. There's some guys that
And
played.
you also got John, wide receiver that played for the San Francisco 49ers with Jerry Rice all the years. John Taylor.
Taylor,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Franco Harris is a local guy. You know,
Franco.
Franco,
yeah.
So Andre,
so many guys.
So Andre, growing up in South Jersey, were you a big Eagles fan?
I was. By the time I got into high school, I think if you're living in South Jersey, you do root for the Eagles, at some point. So, yeah, I think early on when I was a small boy, the Minnesota Vikings, because they were so dominant. But by the time I got to high school, Wes Hopkins was one of my favorite players, and I was definitely an Eagles fan.
Yep.
And then, of course, you go on to
Washington now.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you go on to Penn State. You play for what? Paterno?
Joe Pa, yeah.
Joe Pa. That had to be a great experience. You're not too far from home. The family can all, come up and see you. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, Penn State was the best. I got so much from the coaching staff at Penn State, my football education, just really getting pro football ready at Penn State. We won a lot of games up there, won the national championship as well my freshman year. So I've had a pretty wonderful football life.
And we were talking earlier in the show, Brad and I were talking about Dick Vermeil getting into the Hall of Fame. you got to play. You play for some great coaches, Joe Paterno, Joe Gibbs. I mean, that had to help your maturation as an NFL player.
Certainly coaches are so valuable, and players a lot of times want to believe that it's all them, but I never really completely bought into that concept. If I'm going to study for an hour, I know that coach has looked at that film for 20 hours. So when he says, hey, get to this spot on this play, sometimes I just had to blindly say, you know what, I'm going to trust him and I'm going to get to that spot. And I'll tell you, the coaches, when you say there's coaches sacks and coaches interceptions, I was definitely the beneficiary of a lot of that, just for blindly trusting them. Athletically, I could get to that spot. You have to be able to physically do it. But also coaches know the little things. And if you just say, hey, I'm going with it, you're going to make a lot of plays.
Yeah, and Andre, I remember we went to the All-Star game together at the Combine together. So Andre,
Japan Bowl,
we were, so we grew up in the same class here and stuff. And then Andre was like, he was he was like a safety, athletic enough to play safety, linebacker. I mean, he was a guy back then before this day never came off the field. Especially with the groupings, how he'd be playing 3 downs every time, and you wouldn't leave the field nowadays. The way the game has changed with the receivers and all 11 personnel and no tight ends, so it's different. So I think your game would really match up really well in this day and age, Andre?
Yeah, I think it would, because you see players aren't as big and bulky as they used to be. You see some of these linebackers, are kind of long and lean and really get a chance to use their speed. I think at the time when I came along in the 90s, you saw some faster linebackers. And then toward the end of my career, guys started to get really big. I actually went to Penn State as a corner, and I was heartbroken when Paterno moved me to linebacker. But in the end, that was definitely the right move for me, where I was able to use my speed. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then Andre, I want to talk because he does such I was explaining to Billy, you do such a great job, the director of retired players at the NFL Football League Association out of DC. And there's such a need for it for retired players. And Andre and Nolan Harris they do such a tremendous job helping guys out after they leave the league. And I commend you for that and appreciate all your efforts.
Thanks, Brad. I mean, my work at the NFL Players Union has just been amazing. I've been there for 18 years. I think early on in my career at the NFLPA, I realized that, players really needed to find purpose in life after football. So I've really dedicated a lot of my programming ideas to helping players find purpose. And hopefully I've done a good job. I try and listen to the players. I try and show the players a positive image of themselves. And we're just, players change every year. Former players change every year. So you have to be willing to listen and change with them to be able to provide the best services and the best opportunities for them after football.
We're talking with former Washington Redskins, Cincinnati Bengal, Chicago Bear, Detroit Lion from Simmons in New Jersey, Andre Collins. Andre, along those lines, and Brad, you can attest to this. When you're playing at such a high level, and you're in the NFL, major college football, then NFL, and then your career comes to an end. That has to be an adjustment.
It really is, and that's why
money's not there, the fame's not there anymore, right?
Yeah, it's just, and that's why Andre's group does such a good job of transitioning into civilian life, and people struggle with it, and the league, the NFL realized that, the NFLPA realized that, the NFL Alumni Association realized that, and they're coming up with new programs to help these guys out and for the transition, and it's not easy.
I bet you, Andre, I guess the financial aspect of it can be pretty devastating when you're living high on the hog. And I know you guys, your era, the money now is a lot astronomical compared to when you guys played. But I would imagine that has something to do with the players that retire. They don't have that income anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's like any American. If you lose your job, there's going to be a transition, and for pro football players, it's the same thing. But you're going from $1 million to no dollars. So that's a real adjustment. And I will say this, and I'm so proud of the former NFL players. For the majority of them, really find their way. They find second careers that they're passionate about, and they're able to take care of their families, and they're able to build a nice life for themselves. So that's really the true story for the majority of former
good fight. You know, it's we're blessed to have a support system like you guys in place. So it's great.
Now, Andre, talk a little bit about you're in the NFL now, and then you're in Washington. Growing up, I'm sure every kid's dream. Remember, you're in the backyard saying it's bottom of the ninth, 3-2 count, or 2 minutes left in the game, Super Bowl, whatever. What's it like? You're going to the Super Bowl. What was that euphoric feeling like? I mean, can you walk us through all the things that you were going through in preparation for Super Bowl?
Yeah, let me back up a little bit to the backyard, because for me, I was John Spagnola catching the ball over my left shoulder. So that's who I pretended to be. But,
that's great.
Being able to be in Washington with all of those great players who had Super Bowl experience, there was just kind of a feeling in that locker room that we had a chance to win the Super Bowl every year. But just being a young guy on that team, how hard we practiced, Joe Gibbs' leadership. When we got to Minneapolis, and we were a dominant team in 1991, and some would argue that maybe the best NFL football team ever for any one particular season. Defensively and offensively, both ranked in the top 5. So we were kicking a lot of butt. But when we showed up in Minneapolis, we knew we were going to play the Bills, another tough team. But we had played them the year before toward the end of the season in 1990 in a great game. So it was a team we were familiar with. But I tell you, just showing up in Minneapolis, I was just a young guy. We practiced so hard. We were so crazy. We were hanging out at night. I remember seeing Axl Rose in one of the clubs. I had no idea what was going on. I just wanted to get on the field and run around. And we were really lucky to win. It was a great game. We got out to a big lead. Then some guys got hurt. A lot of people don't remember. But for us, on the field, we were just kind of hanging on because Jim Kelly and those guys were really starting to warm up in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Well, did you sleep the night before? I can't imagine, you get the preparation, you're getting geared up to play the Super Bowl. You know how many millions of people are going to be watching on TV. Did you sleep, or the butterflies? Your mind's had to been racing.
Yeah, biggest game of your career. And
Right.
You got family coming in town
Right.
watching, and friends, and
Remember it like it was yesterday. Martin Mayhew, who's now one of the vice presidents for the Washington Commanders, was always my roommate back then. He went to bed at 8 o'clock that night, and I'm thinking, how can this guy
how can he sleep?
go to sleep?
Yeah.
You had to take a melatonin
I
or something.
remember. I'm like, how's he sleeping? I remember I stayed up probably till about 3 o'clock in the morning, just watching Howard Stern, just doing all kinds of stuff. I didn't bother him, thank God, because he played great in the game. It was a late game, so, we had a long bus ride back from the hotel where they took us out into the middle of nowhere. So you catch a little nap on the bus and get into the locker room. You're half falling asleep half the time anyway before games. But, once the lights came on and we ran out, it was time to play. So
Lights,
I remember
lights, camera, action.
That's
man.
it. Once you get in between the lines, you forget everything, and it's football. It's football. 11 guys on the side.
Time
And
to
just
play.
Time to play.
Time to play.
It's amazing. You played in Super Bowl 26, I believe it was, right? Yeah, Super Bowl 26, and now we're at Super Bowl 56. It's
time
amazing.
flies. It's amazing.
I know. I still feel young, but I can't believe we're all the way up to 56 now.
My first recollection, I'm a little bit older. My first recollection of a Super Bowl was 1969, Super Bowl III, Joe Namath beating the Baltimore Colts. Back then they were the NFC or NFL, AFL, old NFL, AFL. That's my first recollection, just to see that we're at Super Bowl 56 and it's SoFi Stadium. These events are just monumental.
Yeah, and that's why the NFL is the best product out there. The way they've grown it, and with the money and the exposure and everybody getting into it. So it's great. It's a great system, and it's a greatest sport in the world, But Andre, 53, I still feel like I'm 25 years old, right? We're both 53 years old,
Exactly.
so and Andre still looks good too.
Hey, Andre,
Andre's,
we had a great coach in Philadelphia for the Flyers, Fred Shiro, and one of his quotes was, "Win tonight, walk together forever." Talk to us about the bond that you have with that team, the Super Bowl champion team, 26.
Yeah, I mean that's really important, and that's the one thing I always tell people about that team in 1991. We actually liked each other. We went out together. We ate dinner together. Guys wouldn't leave the locker room after practice. You just stayed in there, and we laughed and we had a ball. And the Hogs, they had something called
Hogs and Riggins too. What was he like?
Yeah. I mean, they had the 5 o'clock club where they would go out into the gardener's shed after practice and drink beer. But it was a club. They had jackets and everything.
That's funny.
You had to be invited.
A member.
You had to be invited to go in there.
Oh, that's funny.
And I remember the first time I got invited to go in there and have a beer after practice. It was like kind of coming of age. It was kind of them saying, hey, we like the way you work. We like that you're a part of this team, like welcome to the team. But we just really liked each other. And Joe Gibbs created this special environment where he was giving out prizes every Monday. I mean, it was like Price is Right in there on Monday mornings afterwards. It was just a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun, and we really liked each other.
But how endearing,
the team is everything.
Yeah, when the lineman brought you in, that's complete.
That's a Hogs.
No, I can see, I can see, Andre, your eyes will be like, now I'm here.
Part of this team.
I'm part of this team.
Right, man.
I'm part because
team,
I played with teams where you're a rookie until the first game of the next year. Yeah, so the whole year.
Yeah.
I mean, some vets are really kind of.
Hey, Andre, what's the one aspect of not playing do you miss the most of your playing days? What's the one part of the game that you miss the most?
I mean, I certainly loved game day and competing, but I think most players would say that they miss the locker room, the camaraderie, just to be able to go in there every day. It was work. It was your job. We never said go into practice. We went to work, but to be able to go to work in your pajamas and laugh with your friends, there was nothing better than that. And I love those guys. And we just had our 30th year anniversary get together a couple of weeks ago. Coach Gibbs was on there with us, and everyone was just telling stories and just laughing at each other. It was like we had never left each other.
Like it was yesterday. Yeah,
Well,
that's a good thing about sports.
One thing that you have, Andre, that not many people have is a Super Bowl champion
Super Bowl
and the memories that'll last a lifetime.
Forever. And you can tell the grandchildren, the kids, and that's what's special about it.
Well, listen, Andre, man, I'm really appreciative that you took some time to call into the show. Local product, Cinnamons in New Jersey, Penn State. We really appreciate having you on. And
a good friend of mine. I appreciate it, Andre. I'll call you this week.
Love you, Brad.
Love you too, man.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl 56.
Thanks. Thank you, buddy.
Right, thanks, Billy. Hang in there, guys.
See you.
There he is, Andre Collins on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports. See,
great.
That's the one thing that, and Josh can attest to this over the years that we've talked to athletes, and I ask him that every one of them, to a man, says it's the locker room, the camaraderie, the bond that you build. Look, you get emotional.
I do, because you can't.
Emotional. Look at him. He's getting Josh. He's getting emotional.
No, you can't. You can't. It's unexplainable.
Right. Look,
you can't.
He's getting emotional.
That's good. But you can't explain that. You can't. You can't. And people try to get that, or you can't buy it. You're
funny, man. Look
you
at
can't.
you.
That's good. It's
But
all
that-
good. But you
that's
can't.
because you lived it.
But you can never replace that, though. And guys miss that. They crave for that, and then they get in trouble.
Yeah.
Then they get in trouble. So
Well, that's what he does is so important.
Oh, his program, what he does, and him and Nolan, I mean, it's amazing, and I commend him for it. So
Man,
good.
look at you, man.
It's good.
I'm talking about the locker room. And now
it's
you're in the
good.
locker room.
I'm in the
See,
locker room,
you
buddy.
replaced one locker room for another.
Come on. Yeah, it's cool.
You're not on.
It's a special thing.
What's that? Josh, you're not. We can't hear you.
I said, Billy, you're the kettle calling the pot black over
Yeah,
here. I mean,
yeah.
telling Brad he's being emotional.
Oh, it's good. No, it's good.
Well, no, listen. I got to be honest with you.
That was a good interview.
I get emotional watching replays of the '93 Phillies and the narration and the
Exactly.
the '70s. I can't even watch Gene Hart reliving the '73, '74 Flyers. I'm in tears.
I'm surprised you weren't texting me last night when the SportsCenter special was on with Joe Namath talking
I
about
missed it.
You know, and
why did you text me?
Well, I mean, I didn't know if you were asleep or not. I'm watching the Sports Center special where Joe Namath is talking about all the Joes who have won Super Bowls.
I saw that.
You know, and all I can think about is Billy Schweim somewhere crying about how
blubbering
cool
like a
Joe
little baby.
I mean, Joe Namath is like 70 something years old, and he still looks as fly as
Listen,
ever.
he's a rock star. When I go up with the Jets thing, and he comes back for special events, and Broadway Joe takes pictures with everybody. He talks. He's such a good man.
Well, we had him on the show,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, Josh, right? He knew more about. He was called Bobby, like Billy and Bobby.
Yeah,
like he did his homework on us.
He gets
we went
it.
to college,
He
high school, and
gets
everything.
No, the best part was
He's a good man.
he could tell them apart.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, on the phone.
Really?
Yes.
That's great.
Go
Joe's
By
the
the
real
way,
deal.
that interview's up on my YouTube channel. You got to check it out. All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course. Enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There's always a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for us. He does a great job. My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service? My Winter Watchdog. You know, there's some worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming, and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Brad Quast on 97.3 ESPN.
Tomorrow, the Los Angeles Rams and Cincinnati Bengals square off in Super Bowl 56. Hi, this is Scott Graham. Join me and the rest of our Westwood One crew from LA for all the action. The Bengals are in the big game for the first time in 33 years. Can they bring home the first Super Bowl title in franchise history? Or will the Rams win on their home turf in SoFi Stadium? Tune in to find out. If it's Super Bowl 56, it's right here.
Exclusively on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Super Bowl station.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson & Sons for electrical. They're number one.
Hi, this is Camden County Commissioner John Young with some quick COVID vaccine facts. First, if you haven't received your booster shot, you're not fully protected. 99% of our positive cases are people who haven't been boosted. Second, we can't predict who will have a mild or severe illness. We must all get vaccinated to protect everyone around us. This is your shot. Make it count. And remember, if you're not boosted, you're not fully protected. Visit CamdenCounty.com/vaccine for more information.
With GMF financing excludes Corvette.
Now till the end of the month, Bennett Chevrolet is paying a minimum $8,000 for any trade.
No joke.
That's $8,000 minimum for any rundown old piece of junk you can get to our lot. Don't let that clunker just sit around. Have it towed to Bennett and get at least $8,000 towards any pre-owned vehicle in stock. But this is a special offer this month only. Got a good trade? Bring it in. Because if we're paying a minimum $8,000 for junk, imagine how much more Bennett will pay for a good quality trade. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy ours. Plus, you won't find Bennett selling new cars over factory window sticker like other dealers. And if you're stuck in a lease, we can get you out early. Every make and model. No obligation, no pressure. Because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Now till the end of the month, Bennett Chevrolet is paying a minimum $8,000 for any trade. Find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
Hey, team, it's a full house. We got to pick up the pace.
At Hank's Restaurant, the line goes around the block.
This for 12? Okay, I need the truffle oil drizzle.
What he needs is another line cook.
Oh, man. Are the quail breasts still in the sous vide? Dave, can you keep an eye on that, please?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Always wanted a Jersey Shore mansion? With a $172 million Powerball jackpot win, you could buy the shore home of your dreams, plus one for everyone in your family. It's just that many millions. Anything can happen in Jersey.
Back here in the locker room, we're talking about, when you win a championship, you get like Jason Kelsey, Nick Foles, and that 2017 Eagles team that won the Super Bowl. They can walk on water. They'll never pay for a drink.
No,
like
drinks. I mean, that's just what happens in a big city when you win a championship,
right?
So that's just the way life is.
Like Bobby Clark in the 73, 74, 75 Flyers, that whole team. I mean, they all relocated. They all lived here.
Well, they live here because they make a living after hockey, and
right.
they're well known. And hey, they want to talk about the Stanley Cup and talk about that game against the Rangers, and that's what you do.
The 2008 Philadelphia Phillies, right? Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, they come back here.
Yeah,
Jimmy Rollins,
they're legends.
They're legends.
Legends.
That's
what happens.
Like, do you know how prophetic Ray Shero was with that comment? Win tonight, walk together forever. It's so true. Andre Collins
just said it because first of all, you take playing a professional sport. It's such a unique fraternity, basketball, baseball, or football, but more so football. And then to win a championship because it's so hard to do.
Look, I was breaking your stones about you being emotional, but I get it. I mean, I didn't play at a level that you played in, but I played sports to college. I played football in college, and even though we stunk, the team that I played on in college, I played quarterback at Lees McRae College. I still had a bond. It would be that much more magnified, I would imagine, with more players if you had win a championship. But I understand. I get that, and I'm real.
And I'm glad
you
had
get
that
emotional.
feeling.
Like that's real.
Yeah, I'm glad you had that feeling because it doesn't matter if it's Division 3, 2, 1 football, big time college football, pros. It's all the same,
right?
It's all the same. It's just when you play at a different higher level, and you're playing in front of 110,000 fans, and then you're making money doing it, and you win a championship, a Super Bowl. It just magnifies.
So then, when you see a guy like Ben Simmons, who like kind of like thumbs his nose at the whole. Not that he's doing it intentionally.
Well, of course,
he's worried about himself.
Yeah, but it's a different basketball's. It's a different mindset.
Yeah, but Julius Erving and that whole World Be Free, that whole team, they can walk on water here.
But it's what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's just we're talking about Ben, his individual,
right? It's all about him,
his personality traits and lack of character, or whatnot.
Right.
It's so.
Individual. Let me ask you a question then, real quick, because we're gonna on the other side, we're gonna talk with the head coach of the Pittman boys basketball team, who was a big Ben Simmons supporter.
Okay,
and I'm not gonna gloat, I'm not gonna rub his nose in it, but I'm gonna laugh a little bit. But my point to you is, will Ben Simmons, we saw his true colors in Philadelphia, doing what he did to this team and this city and the fan base. When he has to overcome adversity up in Brooklyn, what's it going to look like?
Well, it all depends what kind of locker room they have. You come in the locker room, what kind of leadership they have.
So if KD and
they say, listen, boy, okay, you got a fresh start here.
Right.
We don't.
It's like going into the green room with the Hogs.
Yeah. We got a fresh start here.
Right.
You don't play here. We're the leader of this team. You got to follow. And
will he change his? Will he be able to
change his stripes?
Yeah.
Leopards change his stripes. Good question. Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
We'll find out. But I hope so.
I hope. All right.
How about Collins talking that story with the Hogs?
That was great.
Great. That's priceless. That's
All right. The second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay's award-winning private golf course, where you are greeted by name For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for us. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati the Main Line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan of the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati the Main Line also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality, like-new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of sale, as Maserati the Main Line offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati the Main Line today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. When we return, we'll talk to the head coach of the Pittman boys basketball team, Ron Meyer. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Brad Quast, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
And a jam by Embiid. He dunks it on the entire Rocket team.
The Sixers host the Cleveland Cavaliers. Coverage begins at 7:30. Philadelphia 76ers basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free Train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again, again and again. Calling again, again and again.
Hi, this is Mike Herron. You've heard me talk about my experiences playing football at the Naval Academy on The Locker Room with Billy Schweim. I'm here to tell you about a company with the same high level of integrity and dedication that it takes to be successful on the football field. Best Property Maintenance. When you need cleaning and janitorial services you can trust, call Best Property Maintenance. They'll take care of your property from top to bottom, commercial and residential, fully licensed and insured. Call Best today. When you want it done right and on time, call Best. They'll do the rest. Call today 609-926-2378 or go online at bestpropertynj.com.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor to make
the earth take the shape that I wanted to take.
And the Allens fire up their John Deere 3032E compact tractor to
grow about 9 acres of flowers.
Because the beauty of having land is deciding how to make it yours. There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Love is in the air, and right now is a great time to shop for that special someone at Sage Jewelers on Tilton Road in Northfield. Sage Jewelers has only the best GIA certified diamonds in store and is currently offering 20 to 40% off jewelry store-wide. You can even take an extra 10% off diamond engagement rings. If you're looking to get engaged to the love of your life, treat her right by finding the perfect ring and having the experts at Sage help you every step of the way. Sage Jewelers, the real jeweler, on Tilton Road in Northfield and online at sagejewelers.com.
All right, so when I was on my way into the show, I was thinking in my solitude in the car.
Thinking.
I said I gotta get in touch with the good buddy of mine, Ron Meyer, the head coach of the Pittman boys basketball team, all South Jersey basketball player, state champion for Pittman.
Have you ever been to a game in Pittman?
No.
It's like Hoosiers.
It's like
the movie Hoosiers.
Well, so I went, and I'm not going to gloat, But I just wanted to come on and I wanted to express himself about the trade. So let's go to the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room. Good friend of mine, the head coach of the Pittman boys basketball team, Ron Meyer. What's up, Ron?
How we doing, Schweim?
What's up, Ron?
Hey, Ron, I'm in here with former Eagles linebacker Brad Quast and I. We're mixing it up, but a lot of conversation today is Ben Simmons and the Super Bowl. And so I'm on my way down. I called you this morning, not to gloat, not to rub your nose in it, but just I want to hear your explanation on what happened with Ben Simmons, because you were such a big supporter of Ben Simmons.
I was a supporter, and I mean, the talent level that he has, I mean, I think that, is there, but you really can't see the mental aspect of things. And I think that he was just he's not built to play, in this kind of environment, this kind of media with the attention on him. And, I don't think that he is mentally strong enough to be able to handle that pressure.
But Ron Meyer, as a all South Jersey basketball player, that you won the championship, you're the head coach. You know talent when you can see basketball. If you can't shoot, if you won't shoot, and there's a hole in your game, why didn't people see this? Like, why were the layman basketball fan like me, right? Just a regular basketball fan. Why was I sold a bill of goods about something that I had questions about? I'm not a head coach of the boys basketball team like you, but it wasn't just you. There was a lot of people that were like basketball people that were sold on this guy.
Potential. He had all the tools, but he didn't have the heart.
You
can't measure a heart. Can't measure a heart.
And that's absolutely right. So you see, I mean, listen, you see the skill set, you see the size, the speed, the ability to handle basketball. I mean, the only thing he's really missing is the confidence to shoot the basketball. And that's not something that you can get somebody out of. I mean, I've gone through, playing basketball in college, and you kind of go through a slump, and in the back of your mind, you're ready to shoot, but you don't have the confidence to make it. I mean, and that's, a hard thing to overcome. I mean, you saw back in the day, Chuck Knobloch couldn't throw the ball from second base to first base. And that's kind of a mental block that he had he couldn't overcome. So, I mean, playing in a small level in high school or maybe a small college, you can get by with that because the media attention's not so strong. But, when it's being pointed out for years that you can't shoot, you're not willing to do it, that kind of will start playing on your mind and kind of getting in the back of your mind, and then you lose confidence. And then you see it, and then it trickles down. I mean, it's all the way to the point where, he passes up that dunk for a pass there in the playoffs. Just not having confidence in yourself enough, I think.
Hey, Ron, it's Josh. I wanted to ask you, as a coach, a lot of the problems is the perception of Ben Simmons. So as a coach, how do you differentiate with him between having the mental block on one hand and the perceived immaturity of the player on the other side, two things that seem to be coexisting in this situation?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of when we go back to when Ben Simmons came in, they brought him in. They had, Brett Brown here, who was a family friend. I don't know, and you never know who goes on behind closed doors, but what the conversations were with him, were they coddling him? Were they not pushing him to improve his games? Did they think that he was good enough just the way he was? You don't know these things behind the scenes, but when he came in and the situation they were in, they kind of let him just kind of get by, and they were trying to, build around the process and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know if they ever really pushed him in practice or really pushed him to improve his deficits. And then, it keeps lingering to the point where it comes to a head. And, we're in a situation we are now. So you don't really know what's going behind the scenes, but I mean, it comes to the fact that, as soon as somebody does call him out, Brett Brown and then Doc Rivers, for the most part at the beginning, were so supportive of him, and rightfully so, they should be. But as soon as, it comes to a head, and then it's glaringly obvious in the playoffs where his deficiencies are and the way that they're game planning for him, he was never pushed to go beyond that level maybe. So, the first time they kind of criticized him for it, and he kind of breaks down, and that's where we're at now.
We're talking with Ron Meyer, the head coach of the Pittman boys high school basketball team here on the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline. Ron, all kidding aside, I do trust you, and I do respect your opinion on basketball because of your resume. Tell me what you like about James Harden? What don't you like? How concerned are you is this enough to put the team in contention?
Well, it's gonna depend on how well they can gel initially. How fast they can get that going, and how committed is James Harden. How is that hamstring injury that everybody's talking about? We'll see. I know that James Harden can make players all-stars. He did it with Clint Capella in Houston. Not that he needs to do that with Joel Embiid, but I mean, he's a superior talent. It's how committed he is. Because what has he won? He hasn't really won anything, and he's played with superstars before, with Durant, with Westbrook, with, all these guys, and they haven't won. So how committed is he to doing what Doc wants and what the team wants and what's best for the team rather than what he wants to do and gelling with these guys? But, I mean, the talent's there. We talked about it before with the Simmons trade, and I was not happy. I didn't really want James Harden because I didn't know what he was going to bring. His resume is not a winner, but we're going to see what it goes now. I'm happy they didn't give up the assets. I mean, you look at it as really Seth Curry and Drummond for Millsap and Harden, because you're giving up draft picks where you don't know, and Ben Simmons is not playing anyway. So it's really a 2-for-2 deal. And if that was the case, if you take Ben Simmons out of this equation because he's not playing for you anyway, I'll take James Harden and Millsap for Seth Curry and Drummond any day of the week. So it's just going to be a matter of whether they can gel and what they can do.
All right, Q, let me
ask you. The concerning part is the defensive end, because sure, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so that leads me to this next question. I'm going to ask Brad first. Are you more happy that Simmons is gone or that we have Harden?
Gone. That he's gone.
That he's gone.
That he's gone. He was such a cancer that he's gone, and then build around him in Harding.
So you're more excited the fact that we got rid of the headache.
Yeah. You don't need that in a locker because you got a good nucleus, and you don't want to bring them down. The rest of the players.
What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's always questions. I think the Sixers players and the organization has handled it well. It's handling the questions, saying the right things about, we're not worried about him or we're supporting him, whatever it may be. But now it's just one thing that's out of the air. They don't have to worry about it anymore. It clears it up. So as long as James Harden can come in and kind of just gel with these guys, that's the best case scenario.
Coach, I got a question for you. Pittman, you do a great job at Pittman High School. Which Crispin? Who's the best basketball player that came out of Pittman High School? Which Crispin? Which one? Tell me.
Put him on the spot.
Put him on the spot. I know. I want to know which one.
Well, we'll say one played in the NBA, one didn't. So
okay. All right. Okay. I hear you. That's a good question. Good answer.
Very good basketball players. They both bring different things to the game. I played with both of them for a very, very long time. And they're both great to play with. They're both great guys.
We had one of the Crispins on, didn't we? Who did we have on, Ron?
Joe, yeah, Joe.
We had Joe the one
time. We had Joe.
So who's that Rowan? Coaching now.
Yep.
Yeah.
John is doing color commentary in games for ESPN right now. So both, they'll tell you the same thing. I think each one of them wishes they had a little bit of the other one's game. So
good answer.
You put the two together, and they're very good. But they're both very, very good.
All right, Ron, you got what do you got? Basketball high school practice at 12 noon today?
About an hour.
All right.
We got past about an hour. We had a game last night, so we got to go in and work.
How's the team? How's Pittman look this year?
We're very young. We actually have Joe's oldest son is a freshman this year, so he's having a real nice year. We're playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores. We don't have a lot of upperclassmen. We have a few, but the majority of our players right now are freshmen and sophomores that with a couple of juniors and a senior mixed in there. So, we're having a good year. We're close to 500 right now with a lot of young kids playing a lot of minutes, but the future is definitely bright for us.
All right. Well, listen, Coach, thanks for being a good sport, calling in and facing the music. As always, we really appreciate it. We'll do it again. We'll have you back on soon.
Thanks, Ron.
Anytime, Bill. Clock's right twice a day, right? One right time, Billy.
All right, there he is. Coach Ron Meyer on the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline. He's got a shot. Ron Meyer's.
I used to love going into the Pittman gym and playing. Like St. Augie's would go play there. They play, and it just watching. It's like it's Hoosiers. It's Hoosiers. It's Hoosiers.
All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You play on their 18-hole championship golf course. Enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member or book a wedding, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Somers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always, always a great day at Great Bay. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick, where you wear their private business network they call the Legacy Club. Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. Right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. Get you ready for Flyers hockey. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Brad Quast, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey later today on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app with Tim Saunders and Steve Coates calling all the play-by-play action.
Oh, big save by Carter Harden.
The Flyers are in Detroit to take on the Red Wings.
Coverage begins at noon. It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey on the radio home of the Flyers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN, and listen live on the free mobile app.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
So you're thinking about a new job. Better update your resume. Better text that friend of a friend who works in HR. Or, better idea, you go to thenewmonster.com. Peruse millions of jobs, thousands of words of career advice. Now you're not just thinking about a new job. You are applying for it, interviewing for it, bragging before you even get it, investing in khakis. Good for you. Good for the world. Good way to find a new job. Go to thenewmonster.com or download our app today.
It's Tango Day, everybody. Follow after me and step and back and slide and dip. That's tango.
Why is Ice-T leading our tango class?
It's probably the heart-shaped Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out they can help lower cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
Let's see those hips move, people.
Hurry and get your heart-shaped Cheerios. They're only here for a limited time.
With GMF financing excludes Corvette.
Now till the end of the month, Bennett Chevrolet. Down old piece of junk you can get to our lot. Don't let that clunker just sit around. Have it towed to Bennett and get at least $8,000 towards any pre-owned vehicle in stock. But this is a special offer this month only. Got a good trade? Bring it in. Because if we're paying a minimum $8,000 for junk, imagine how much more Bennett will pay for a good quality trade. And we'll buy your vehicle even if you don't buy ours. Plus, you won't find Bennett selling new cars over factory window sticker like other dealers. And if you're stuck in a lease, we can get you out early. Every make and model. No obligation, no pressure. Because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. Now till the end of the month, Bennett Chevrolet is paying a minimum $8,000 for any trade. Find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
You know, you made a good point in the last segment.
I'm making a lot of good points.
You can't judge what's in somebody's heart.
Yes.
How big that heart is.
How big the heart is, work ethic, you know.
Like Josh just said during the break, you got to be able to read the room.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha.
That's what makes them good coaches, right? The good coach understands, I got to talk to this guy one way. I got to talk to that guy. You know, one of the best books I've read in recent years was by Bob Glauber from, was he New York Times or New York Post? I forget what it was. Right. He wrote the book basically documenting the 80s football and how different Joe Gibbs, Bill Parcells, and Bill Walsh were. And he talked about, people talk about how Parcells treated Lawrence Taylor differently, right? Well, he talks about in the book how, well, guess what? Bill Walsh did the same thing.
Yeah.
He didn't treat every guy exactly the same, but that's what makes a great coach is to understand this is how I get through to this guy. This is how I deal with this guy.
And that's a great segue for what we're going to be talking next. The Flyers play today at 12 noon, and they're playing the Detroit Red Wings, who are in a rebuild. And they beat the Flyers the other night. Was it 5-4-3 or 5-3?
6-3.
Was it 6-3?
It should have been 5-3, but the stupid goalie got that empty netter, which was a fraudulent piece of bleep, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Can I give me 10 seconds?
Yeah, go
I am done with the goalies scoring on the empty net garbage. Okay. You're not Ron Hextall. You're not Dominic Hasek. You're not Ed Belfour. You're not Terry Sawchuk. You're a no-name loser who has a job in the NHL because you're on a team that stinks. You don't deserve a National Hockey League goal. Now this dude's going to be Billy Schweim's age in 30 years saying, when I was in the NHL, I scored a goal. Shut up.
I'm looking at the standings, and the Flyers are the owners of the worst record in the Metropolitan.
I get no response out
you know
of you
what?
two. You two are no good to me.
You know, like I say, who cares? Who cares?
But here's what I do care.
That's what I said. Who cares?
Couturier,
Who cares?
Couturier is out for the rest of the season. He had back surgery, and that's a big blow. I will say this: the Flyers, Josh, you know how excited we were when Chuck Fletcher made all these moves last summer.
Yeah,
right. We're very excited about it. It just didn't pan out. Is this all his fault?
No, because I can't blame him for the Ryan Ellis injury. I can't blame him for Alain Vigneault not knowing to do with half the moves that they made. I think that Chuck Fletcher had to force the hand of Vigneault. He exposed him. He had to be let go.
The injuries, I think, Brad,
and then the injuries piled up and made everything
worse.
worse.
Don't make excuses, but they had this team is suffering.
Yeah, they've been ravaged with injuries, and that's tough to overcome, especially your key guys go down. Like, goal scorers.
When
tough.
You have, and you're saying is you can't make the club.
Can't make the club in the tub.
But you don't feel like part of the team when you're.
No, it's a whole different.
Surgery,
It's a whole
you're in the training room the whole
regimen. Yeah,
time.
different regimen. You're with your trainer, your PT. You go to meetings, but you're not. You're not.
But
on
guess
the field
what?
The whole time.
Claude Giroux is getting traded.
Claude Giroux, he better get.
He's going to be traded.
The trade deadline, I believe, is March 31st. I think.
Here's the thing.
It's late.
You have the All-Star Game MVP Claude Giroux. He will be the biggest commodity on the trade market.
But why get excited about an MVP award in a game that it was a 3-on-3?
It's just it's something to put on your resume and is for his agent to negotiate. That's
Right.
all. That's it.
It's all fluff.
It's all fine. He gets a new truck out of the deal.
But guess what? The Flyers benefit from it too, because now they're going to get a bigger haul because they said, look, when this guy played with the best players in the league, he was one of the star of the stars.
Yeah. Yep. Good
so
point.
it's a negotiating angle.
course,
It's an opportunity
of course.
for the Flyers to say,
All-star
I'm
MVP.
not taking a 3rd round pick. I want better than a 3rd round pick for Claude Giroux. I want some players.
And another thing Q always says, you got to hit on your number 1 draft choice.
You have to.
You have to
In all sports.
nowadays.
You have to. You can't miss
You
because
can't
of
miss.
the way this caps and the salary structure. You can't miss, and that's why it's more importantly the GMs of these organizations and running the hiring and firing coaches and scouting departments. That's where the money should be spent.
Yeah, I mean, the Flyers have made Nolan Patrick was the biggest. I mean,
he's the most.
He's not even playing. I don't think he's like on the roster. I think.
Yeah, he's on Vegas.
He's on Vegas, but he's not even playing.
Yeah, he's supposed to come back at some point this year. But Patrick is definitely the biggest eyesore of the Ron Hextall era. You know, that whole thing where Bobby Clark came out and ripped him a new one.
He's the only one that wanted him.
Yeah, and listen, it's a little revisionist history because, Patrick was considered one of the 5 best prospects easily in that draft. But
Cal McCarr.
But if
we're
you
looking at him, man.
well,
Look at him.
McCarr was not considered the same potential as Nolan Patrick. But the problem is that when you don't listen to your scouts, when you don't listen to the people that you hired to help you, you know what happens? Maybe the Flyers could have traded down out of 2nd overall, maybe gotten some assets, let somebody else make that decision.
Well, they were so excited that they got that pick anyway because they weren't even like
they weren't supposed to get that.
They weren't supposed to get that pick.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, you got number 2 landing in your lap. You're going, I got to get this guy.
But guess what? It's like what happens in the NBA. In the same draft that Zion Williamson and Greg Oden went number 1 overall, John Morant and Kevin Durant went number 2. Well, sometimes it happens in reverse too.
Right.
Sometimes the number 1 guy is better than the number 2. It's not always as clear cut as we got the top or the second pick. Sometimes if you just pick the wrong guy, like you said, Bill, you're doomed.
Yeah. And
How many people are second guessing the Michael Jordan drive, huh?
He was number 3.
Yeah, right? So
Sam Bowie.
So let's get back to the Ben Simmons. You're more excited that they got rid of Ben Simmons and the headache and then actually acquiring James Harden.
the cancer's gone.
Okay.
He's out of the locker room, and you got a great nucleus and built from there. And we
also heard Andre Collins talk about chemistry.
It's all chemistry.
How important that is.
It's huge. I mean, in all sports, it's chemistry. That's why
He said they all liked each other.
Yeah, you have to.
Like the '93 Phillies loved each other. They didn't go home.
And that's unique. It doesn't happen in every sport or every team, but when it does, it's special.
Yeah, you have to have at least respect. You have to fight for the guy next to you.
Yeah, you respect. You don't got to go out and party with it because guys are married and singles, but you got to have respect and have that bond together.
Now, Josh, real quick, I don't want to digress, but Mike Gill, they sent me a thing on Twitter about there was a good hockey fight between the Kraken and the Ducks. There was a big time fight. I love hockey. You like hockey fights, Brad?
Well, that's the only reason people watch it. It's the most boring. It's not made for TV, but they want to see fights.
I love to see.
Otherwise there'd be no ratings at all.
We need some fight.
Need some fights.
Not only the Flyers getting beat, they're going down without a fight.
All right.
I'm out.
Flyers hockey next against the Detroit Red Wings.
That's always a good fight.
Brad, great show today. We'll have you back in tomorrow, and we'll talk with PT will be here, Pete Thompson. Isaac Redmond from Paulsboro High School, another Super Bowl champion tomorrow. All right.
Should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Ready. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Saturday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Thanks to Andre Collins, Ron Meyer, and the Sportsbook Consigliere, Dave Sharapan.
Sharapan.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody, right here, 10 a.m. to noon, 97.3 ESPN, The Locker Room.